I'm gonna say this right now, man. I'm gonna say this with so much love in my heart, and you know it's coming. I need you to know it's coming from a loving place.
What I do, bro?
I need you to know it's coming from an absolute, loving, caring place, and I mean this with all my heart, man.
What's up, bro?
You know I love you. Can you please make your fucking my player for 2K so you can play?
Yeah, I got it, bro. I got it, bro. Look,
God, so
I got it, bro. I thought you was. I really thought she was out of town this week for real.
no, I don't leave till the weekend.
Okay, I bet that's all you had to say. Yeah,
The
I got you.
the several times, you know how many times we be needing just one more, like just one more, and we
I
be
got you, bro.
searching, scratching around the bottom of the barrel trying to find one more for us to run fives in the red.
I got you, bro. He already made and everything. I got you, bro.
Yeah. I'm waiting now. Now I'm waiting on Greg's my play to get done. The second one.
Oh
And
yeah, what we
then
at? 82. I think we had like 82 right now.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's 82.
Yeah, I gave him a what is it? It's
Uh, inside out.
a
Two
two-way diamond inside out score.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that boy, that thing is gonna be scary.
Facts.
But yeah, nah, that's and then
Just
I
got
gave
mad.
you just got Madden.
Just got mad.
Yeah, stay away, brother.
Yeah, my little brother keeps talking about you gonna play me. I said, bro, I just got the game. I just took it out the wrapper.
Stay away, brother. You don't want to go through none of that.
Bro, you know I play football for real. I hate losing football. I lose in basketball. I lose in
Nah,
football.
man. Freaking this man is a different breed.
I already know.
This man a totally different breed, man. Stay away. Stay away. That's how you keep your sanity.
Sanity. 2K
Yeah.
bad enough.
That's how you keep your sanity from saying
2K definitely is bad enough.
2K is bad enough.
That is I'm good. I'm 100% good on what we got going on. I'm in a league with a couple of folk. I'm glad they ended up, breaking down. I ain't want nothing to do with that no more. I ain't want to do with that no more, man. Not at all. Absolutely, positively hated it. I won a couple of games, but like the way you have to play, I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to do it no more. But let's go ahead and get things started. Why I got you two lovely gentlemen on here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you guys are absolutely positively busy. So it's a blessing that you guys have decided to spare some time for the podcast. I'm glad the guys are on, man. Especially Rio the guy.
We appreciate you having us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Welcome back, sports fans, to the ugly truth, where we tell you what you need to know and not what you want to hear. And sometimes it can get ugly. The best part of this show, my favorite part of this show, the part of the show that I get most excited about is introducing my man Rio the God. Go down the checklist. Let's go down the checklist. One of the best sports minds I know. Trust and believe it. You see it every week out here in the ugly truth. He got some of the surest hands out there on the East Coast. Check the highlight tapes. Greg the seen his handles hooping before. He got the little him into the paint. He's one of the best partners out there. It's such a blessing that you guys get to hear his knowledge and his takes each and every week here on the Ugly Truth. My man, the co-host, right there next to me, Rio the guy. Rio, how you doing?
Yo, what's happening, fellas? Hey Trey, you would really think I was a cool person if it was up to you, bro. Okay. Like you just like blindly, like I think real cool as hell. What?
Hey man.
I think it's the greatest in that shit. I wish I could do it.
Here with us again. Oh, go ahead. My bad, Rio.
Nah, I'm blessed, but I'm glad to be up here with y'all boys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here with us again for the second time. We got Greg here tonight on the show. Thankful for Greg being here, man, taking the time out of his day to join us on the podcast, man. Y'all know who Greg is. 6'7", 2-guard out of Northview, Virginia. Man, my man Greg. Man, Greg, how you
I
doing?
appreciate that. I'm good. I appreciate the Northview, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
You sure you're not
that's
from Suffolk? It's
oh
Northview, right?
that's JC Root.
That JC. Yeah, he
That
is from
JC
Suffolk.
Root.
I
JC from
forgot.
Southern.
Yes, as always, man, we're thankful for you guys for tuning in, supporting the channel, whether you're watching us live or later on the YouTube stream. We're thankful for you guys. Always appreciative of you showing love in the chat and with the views and the comments. Appreciate it, every single little bit of it. Now it's time to get into some sports. Fellas. So first episode with Greg, we had him on here, man. It was to get to know Greg, you know, kind of introduce who Greg was, his past, and what he got going on. Now we need to hear what's going on inside the mind of Greg, the sports takes. All right. So first thing we're gonna start off with is the NBA MVP candidates, man. Greg and I was just talking about this before the podcast started, and the top 5 is very interesting once you get to thinking on another level in terms of who these players actually are. And for the viewers, we'll give you this is an article from Bleacher Report that is basically giving the rankings for the current MVP leaders. No votes have been given out yet, of course. We're trending towards the middle of the season, but this is kind of just the overall consensus of the MVP race. Rio, Greg, I'd love to get your thoughts on the top 5. We're gonna start with the top 5 and kind of dig our way through the top 10 in a little bit. So let's get you started off at number 1. Actually, no, we're gonna start for number 5. We're gonna work our way to number 1. There you go. Add some suspense. All right, at number 5, they have the big man out in Philadelphia, Joel Embiid. At number 4, Kevin Durant. Number 3, they got the Greek freak out in Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Number 2, my adult Slovenian son, Luka Doncic. And number 1, the Joker out from the Denver Nuggets. I'm gonna tell you, I'm listening to a little bit of snippet right now before we get started. I'm gonna start off with you, Rio. But before we get started, if the Joker wins one more MVP, I'm gonna go fucking crazy. We already talked about how we thought he didn't deserve the last one. If he goes 3 in a row, I'm not gonna hit the last from Hoss. That's all I gotta say. Hoss gonna drag that thing down.
His boogie gonna get it to you.
Man, easy. Real, man. Give me your thoughts on the MVP candidates as of right now, top 5. What you think?
I mean, I guess it's a fair assessment, man. When you look at it, I know we rave about it. We don't rave about it, but we try not to talk down about Nikola. But in the sense of him being number 1, I think you got to give it to what it is. They number 1 in the West. He's hooping. They're hooping. It's a tough matter. I feel like KD should be a lot higher on that list. I think due to the turnaround they've generated with Jack Vaughn and Kyrie and those guys. You know, I would definitely think he'd be higher than 4, but I guess that is what it is. Did you say Greek, right? You said Greek at 3?
Yeah, 5 was Joel, 4 was KD, Greek was 3, Luka at 2.
I guess I am a little confused. I mean, isn't the Celtics number 1 in the East? How is JT not on that list?
JT is on that list. They got him at like 6, right behind Joel Embiid.
Why isn't he higher on that list than number 1 seed? If you get the favorite to Joker being, I mean, isn't he averaging like 28, like 27?
Yeah, so it goes for the seeding. You got Boston, Nets, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Cleveland, and then Indiana. Those are your top 6 seeds in the East.
And JT's averaging 31, 8, and 4.
Yeah.
So him not being top 3 is ridiculous to me. Especially if you look, where's Dallas on this list?
You talking about in terms of seeding?
4, 5? Yeah.
In terms of seeding, they are. Let's see.
Maybe it's like 5th.
4 or 5. I think it's about right. So in fairness and all fairness, I guess it is
They have
I guess
four.
it's fair enough
Four.
Yeah.
list.
Denver, Memphis, New Orleans, Dallas, the fucking Kings, and then the Clippers.
Like the bean.
Yes, sir. And the
Like the
LA
bean. Shout
Lakers
out to
Trey.
all
Mike.
the way down at 12th.
Shout out to Mike. But I guess in the first instance it is. I guess that's something I just don't agree with. I love JoJo, but I think you gotta keep it a stat, man. There's no reason JT shouldn't be top 5 on this. It shouldn't be top 3 in any situation due to how he's playing. 31 and 8 and 4 ain't nothing to shy away from, and they are in that position because of him. No, Ime Okudo, you obviously got JB and Marcus Smart and those guys, and they still generating pretty much the same thing they've been had. But I don't know, man. Like,
Ooh, so you got him basically. You would say you feel him better off replacing KD at number 4, or you have him above Giannis as well.
honestly, man, yeah, at this point, but I guess if you speak off tear that Giannis has had, I guess like 4 games where he was averaging like 43 points. I guess that's kind of disrespectful of me. I feel I feel like he should be top 5. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like he should be top 5. You can seed him however you want to. Personally, 4 or 5 is pretty good either way. But I mean, I just think you can't bat an eye at the guy who's number 1 in the East. And they've been on this tear. Good two-way player at that, and he's averaging 31 and 8 and 4. Even though JoJo's probably averaging like 34 or something like that. But I still think seeding matters in some of these situations. But that's not here or there from my perspective. But
So if you had to kind of switch things around, your top 5 list, who you got?
Luka, Joker, Giannis, JT, KD. I would take JoJo out.
Ooh, you kicking JoJo out top 5?
I kick JoJo out right at 6.
Ooh.
Right at 6. It's tough, but I'll put him right at 6.
Man, is JoJo ever gonna be able to win MVP? Yeah, I feel like
think,
every time he's up there, man, somebody else is just.
I don't think he can do it. I think last year was his best option. Best chance.
Yeah, last year definitely best chance.
Joker gonna be there because he's a fan favorite. With JoJo not being a fan favorite, it's gonna be even harder.
That's a fact. Even though I don't know who's a fan of the Joker other than the Nuggets.
Hoss.
Nuggets fans. Yeah, Hoss is the only person that keep voting that man in.
Him and you remember Ron we used to work with? Ron Rush.
Ryan.
Yeah, he's a Denver Nugget. He's a Denver Nuggets fan.
He was also a Dolphins fan. Right?
Yeah, bro. He's probably the only two. I've never really known Denver Nuggets fans or Dolphins fans. He's both, faithfully too.
My mom's neighbor is a Dolphins fan, and when the season first started, it was hilarious. When the NFL season first started, it was the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Giants. There was another team that was undefeated for 4 games. I can't remember who.
Was it the Seahawks?
I might have been the Seahawks.
I think it was the Seahawks.
But I remember being at my mom's house and the Dolphins fan came up. He was talking. I was like, man, I understand. I just don't believe.
Fact.
I just don't believe. But yeah, now to be a Denver Nuggets fan and a Miami Dolphins fan, that's kind of a weird mix.
You talking about no championship chasing at all within that.
Yeah. So you got my adult Lars Vinius son Luka at number 1, Joker at number 2, Giannis at number 3, JT at number 4, and KD at number 5.
Yes, sir.
All right, great, man. How you feel about Bleacher Report's current list, man?
It's not a bad list. I don't know what goes, specifically what goes into picking, what I'm saying, these guys at the top 5 or the top 10, whatever the case is. I feel like some of it is bias at times, and a lot of it is like he said, fan favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like people picking off of who's likable and what fans like who and who, stuff like that, instead of more so looking at the numbers, the seeding, what's really important. So it's kind of hard to like. I don't really disagree with the list, but I kind of do at the same time because I feel like you're missing guys. You know what I mean? Like he said, the Jason Tatum 31 8-4 first in the East, but he's not top five. Um, I would take if it was up to me, I would take Embiid out of there. But it's hard to take Embiid out of there too, because he's just like a physical beast. Like I think Joel Embiid is the most dominant player in the NBA, but he's just a physical beast. Like nobody can guard him 1-on-1. So it's hard to take him out. But I would take out Embiid and I would probably put in Tatum. Um I wanna say I wanna take KD out, but the recent stretch that they've been on with turning around, it's kind of boosted him. So I feel he could probably stay in there. I mean, if it's up to me though, I want to throw in. I really want to put in Shea Gilgeous Alexander in that top five,
Ooh,
bro. But
SGA.
I I don't know if I can't put him in the five though. I'm gonna put him right at 6 or 7 though for sure. But
I got you.
I
Absolutely.
think number one probably. I think number one should be Luca. I think number two should probably be Jokic. Number three, I would go with Jason Tatum. Um, at four, mm, that's tough. At four, I would probably go Greek Freak. Nah, at three, I would go Greek Freak. I would put Tatum at four, and then number five would probably be. See, that five is kind of tough because it's like four people you can put at five.
Right,
But I
right.
would I would probably put Kevin Durant at five just for what they've been doing recently.
So I think I have a question for you guys. Do you think the reason why Jason Tatum doesn't get the love that everybody else is getting in terms of this MVP race and the recognition from the fan base or from other players, from other coaches, do you feel that it's because Jason Tatum benefits largely and also is, I would say, most of the Boston Celtics system, as where you have Luca, Joker, Greek Freak, and KD, who are the system on their teams, who are that focal point in terms of everything is running through them. I'm not saying at all that it doesn't happen in Boston. What I am saying, it doesn't happen as much, and you think he kind of benefits from the style of system that they play in Boston more so than we're living and dying by Jason Tatum. As where it's the same thing with the other players. Like you live and die by Luca. Like there's no other way the Dallas Mavericks are winning unless Luca is that guy for that team,
Right,
for scoring the
right.
most, assisting the most. It's the same thing for the Nuggets and for the Bucks. How you guys feel about that? You think that's the reason why he doesn't get that recognition?
Um, I mean, that probably is it. I mean, like you said, those guys. I feel like if they don't play on their teams, then it's absolutely probably 9 times out of 10 they will lose. I think if Tatum did go down or was injured for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, the Celtics still could win without Tatum. So that may be a big factor being that, their actual team, and they don't force it. I mean, they do play through him, but they don't really force it sometimes, like you said, how you would with Luca. I mean, Luca is literally like 95% of Dallas offense. You know what I mean? It's a pick and roll. So
Yeah.
it's either a shot from Luca or some type of assist from Luca, as per with the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? You got Smart who can pass, you got Brock, then you got Jalen Brown. So I kind of would agree. I think that does play a big factor with that. So
I personally think it sucks that you have to be critiqued in that manner personally. mean, you can't help your situation. You know what I mean? I understand
Right.
the cast in these situations, but these other organizations are choosing to do what they do in order to live and die by what you live and die by. Like you're gonna live and die by Nicole. You're gonna live and die by Luka. You're gonna live and die by JoJo and Giannis, both. It definitely plays a factor into why he's not in that conversation. I do hate that it's a factor because at the end of the day, he still is hooping regardless of what it is. He can't help JB actually ended up being somebody they didn't think he was gonna be. I mean, if that's the case, we have to take JoJo out of the situation because he does have James Harden, whether he's on the last leg or not. Tyrese Max is another kid who's a solid hooper, and that cast is also decent. And I know Giannis is a physical specimen. I know he's a great basketball, like I said, great basketball player, but very good basketball player and a very dominant basketball player. But we can't bat an eye at guys like Drew Holiday, Rick Lopez. These guys actually are in the NBA, and they play a huge important factor into what these guys are able to bring to the table. But when you do start throwing in guys like Luka and Nikola, they are the system. Those two guys are the system, and I guess that's why they're at the top of this list. I do hate the fact that it is that when it comes to JT, but I mean it definitely does play a factor into why his ranking is where he's located at now. I think if he was in the suit of, okay, get the keys to JT and we're going to live and die by it, I think he could do it. I don't know if they would be number one. And much as I hate to say it as a Carolina fan, like Phil Dupla be that person, but I think he could do it. I just don't think it would be one of those levels that we see Luka and Nikola Jokic. So it definitely plays a factor in that.
Yeah, you're correct. It does suck because you're doing what you're supposed to do as a GM, as an owner of a team, as a front office of a team, and surrounding your all-star, your best all-pro player with talent, with a supporting cast that in order to be successful as a team instead of as an individual. It sucks that that's one of the critiques, right? That your team around you was so well. Is it actually you or is it more so the team? We saw it happen with the Eagles this year with Jalen Hurts. We found out quickly that it was Jalen Hurts because we was him.
Right.
But I think I like I said when I was asking the question, I did say that he's not just completely benefiting from the system, but he is the system. But it's not as much as you have like a Luka Doncic or Nikola Jokic. I think it was like last year Luka had one of the highest usage rates in NBA history because of how much they need him basically to have the ball in his hands. So it sucks, but I think the MVP award, I think the only part that is a team aspect for the MVP is your record. And then after that, it's all individual stats.
Right.
So yeah, he has the record going for him, but then you kind of have the individual stats of the other players. Even though what is he? I think he's second or third in scoring right now.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Right.
I think Luke was one. I think JoJo's second. I can't think of. I think JT might be third.
Yeah, Tatum might be third.
Yeah. So it sucks. But if I had to go with it, I would love to see Luka win MVP. So I have him at number one. Give me JT at number two, because of where he is in terms of the team success and how he's contributing to that team success. Got Giannis at number three, KD at number four, and no, Giannis number three. Give me the Joker at number four, and then KD at number five. I would love to see Luka go MVP.
Yeah, we're all in that same boat where we all got these same guys floating in the same area. They are all the top five at this point.
Fun fact: Luka's still only 23 years old.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It sucks for him though, because with his usage and his numbers so high, it's never going to be winning formula.
No,
that's the worst part about it. It's like it'll all be glitz and glamour.
Right.
It'll all be glitz and glamour. He'll never prosper. He'll probably have all the accolades you could think of, but That ship ain't gonna happen like that.
Yeah, definitely not, bro. Definitely
Yes,
not.
sir. I don't think so either. Shout out to Mom Dukes in the chat. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Appreciate y'all joining in. So one of the things that Greg and I was talking about before the podcast was that on another level, if you take a look at it, you got Jokic number 1, Luka number 2, Greek Freak number 3, KD number 4, and Joel Embiid number 5. One of the things that Greg mentioned was that 4 out of the 5 are foreign players, and I brought up that Kobe Bryant in an interview a couple years ago said that the foreign players are basically going to catch up and surpass American players because of how they're taught how to play basketball at a young age. They're taught, the fundamentals and the basics are perfected at a young age instead of being able to score, dribble, and shoot. And that's where as Americans, that's what we try to perfect at a young age. It's the handles, the scoring, the shooting. As where Europeans and other foreign countries are team oriented, the basics and the fundamentals. We're going to perfect that before we move on to the next level, and
Right.
that plays a huge part into it. He said, they were going to pass us in about a couple of years. Sad to see that he couldn't see it happen, but I mean it's happened, right? You just take the top 3 MVP candidates right now. They're all foreign.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic, Luka, and Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just talking about how crazy that is and how we're seeing it right now, Max. I mean, even what 5 years ago, it was nothing close to that. 5 years ago, who was the
What?
MVP candidates 5 years ago, like 2018?
Probably LeBron, Steph Curry. Trying to think. James Harden.
Was that Giannis' breakthrough? He almost won a
That
ring.
was so they had that MVP vote in the first, second, and third was James Harden, LeBron, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. Okay. Yeah.
And then that's the one James Harden won.
Right, this is the following year. Giannis won, right?
2019. 2019, well, yeah, it was Giannis.
Yeah, because they thought James Harden should have been back to back.
Right.
Yeah. So you go back to 2018. Oh, you go back to 2018. Let me see if I can find that list, like the whole list of no, it's just giving me top. Wait, no, here it is, top 10. So you had, Giannis that was his breakout season. So Anthony Davis was up there, Giannis, LeBron James, James Harden, Kawhi, Kyrie, Joel Embiid, Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. So you had two foreign players up there.
Mr. Gillette, guys, we do have
So yeah, I mean five years ago, I guess if you go back to I guess we go to 2016, 17. Giannis is the only one that's in the top 10 that's foreign. So 2016-17 season, you got Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi, LeBron, Isaiah Thomas. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Stephen Curry, Giannis, John Wall, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and then DeMar DeRozan. So 5 years ago, this wasn't it. Now you're looking at 2022, 2023. It's half a half. I think the rest of the MVP candidates in the current is JT, Donovan, Shai Gilgeous SGA, John Morant, and then D Book, Steph, and Zion. So you got 5 out of 10 foreign players. Half.
Right.
And then the top 3 are all foreign.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for real, when you really think about it.
Yeah,
For a long while, they didn't think foreign players would ever escalate to this standard.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God.
Nobody.
If you went back to like Charles Barkley, Shaq, Michael Jordan era. Like you went back and was like, hey, in 2023, the top 3 MVP candidates are not American.
Like, what if you don't get your ass out of here?
In 20, if you went back and told Michael Jordan, I mean, hell, even you went back
If
and
you
told
went
what's
to,
that?
you told Bean. If you would have went back mid 2000s, I don't think you would have got nobody saying, "Oh yeah."
I think Kobe probably might have been the only one.
Yeah,
right.
That would have been like, all right,
maybe. Yeah, I can
believe
see
it.
it. I can see it. Yeah, Bean probably the only one. You told Steve Francis and them boys, yeah, nah, you got your rapid ass fine. We run this shit. What? Yeah, you think you running? They got this big motherfucker coming in here, big liar.
We was talking about somebody said I think back in the early 2000s, the highest offensive efficient team was like the Pacers.
Yeah.
And then as of right now, the lowest efficient offensive team is the Hornets. And they're the same. I think it's like 130.8 or something like that. And people, I think what killed me is people say like, oh yeah, players these days win it last. Back in the day, I'm like, bro, I don't think so. Like that is a crazy statement to say because you drop a LeBron James, a 6'9" point guard. Of course, it was Magic Johnson, but he was more finesse. You got a freight train coming down the middle of the paint.
Right.
He gonna get arrested.
It's going.
What that boy doing on the court?
I don't know why people say that, man. It's just crazy I mean, over time, everything evolves. You know what I mean? So it's like that's just stupid to say. But
Rio, was you there? Was that your homeboy I was arguing with at Tasty Grill?
Said that.
When he was talking about how the Bulls, the 96 Bulls, wouldn't fear like that. Was it 2017 Golden State with KD? He's like he would give them only one game in a 7-game series.
Yeah, that was my stepdad. Yeah.
Bro, I wanted to flip the table. What? I think Greg, that's the loudest I ever got in public with somebody. Like
that's just old head shit though, man. You know how it is. It's one thing to say, it's one thing to say, all right, yeah, they probably get run for. What's another thing to say, like, you're gonna say these guys not gonna get a game or they gonna get a game. Like no matter how in your ways you are stuck, you have to realize the caliber teams are going to. Yes, Mike and them are phenomenal. Don't get it twisted. But in the same breath, right, you're talking about two of the best basketball players of all time conjoined with one of the best two-way players of all time, and you pretty much match up pretty well. You match up extremely well, if not better. You just have to really think about who wants it more in that situation, right? I think, I mean, yeah, don't get it twisted. Niggas are scared of Mike. Excuse my French, but everybody not laying down Mike, and I love Mike, but everybody not laying down Mike. Not in that situation. Not when you got those guys running beside you. If you telling me right now, look, it's you. And you running with Stephen, KD, and Clay and Dre. Oh, I'm going up against anybody. Just you know what I mean? I'm just tucked in the corner. Just know when you get it over here, it's going up.
Right.
Top of the backboard, top of the shot clock, whatever. Just get the rebound because it's going up for sure.
Definitely.
I think in, like you said, I don't think Mike put that too much fear in somebody like Draymond's eyes because the way Draymond's thinking about it is I've had to go up against LeBron James, a 6'9" power train. Like, was it how many years they go against each other in the finals?
3.
I think that was 3, yeah.
Yeah, 3 in a row. And it's like, that's a tough person to see. Right? You got the person who's about to pass Kareem in the scoring list is somebody who Draymond had to guard throughout the entire final series. And it's like, okay, I get Michael Jordan is who he is, but I don't know, man. LeBron James is a different breed.
Right.
Mike is gonna be Mike. And it's just what it is. Mike gonna be Mike. Ain't nothing you can do to stop Mike the same way nothing really Same way you can't stop, Bron. Same way you can't really stop KD. These guys stop themselves. You can't do nothing about that. The problem when it comes to shit like that, I think in those hypotheticals we speak on is about the supporting cast. That's where that shit started lying. So you know what I mean? Because like Mike is gonna be Mike, Bron is gonna be Bron, KD gonna be KD, Steph gonna be Steph. But who in these systems are gonna be the counterparts to say, is Scotty gonna be Scotty? And who's gonna say, all right, is Ron Harper gonna be, I don't know, Iguodala from that, that series? When I say that, I don't mean like, I don't say, of the essence of, he's going to be a 30-point scorer, but, the average that he averages, and is he going to be able to lock up Steph? You got to start thinking those hypotheticals when you start talking, that
right.
But, you can't tell, nothing.
Yeah, you definitely can't, bro.
Not at all.
I'm going to always ride with 23. Mike, for sure. But at some point in time, you got to be realistic, too.
Right.
And then also make sense in your arguments.
Yeah, I told him like I was talking like, bro, I understand where you're coming from, but to just completely push off the notion that the Golden State Warriors team wouldn't have a chance, like just one game is absolutely insane.
My thing is though, who I mean, I get Jordan and Pippen, these dudes, they play, outstanding defense, but who's chasing Steph Curry? Like, I know y'all remember what happened to Dellavedova for the Cavaliers when he chased Steph Curry around. Like, bro, who's doing that? You know what I'm saying? So to say they wouldn't get a game, and this man almost had somebody die from exerting so much energy chasing him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a crazy, that's like you said, that's more some old head stuck in your ways shit and not really trying to accept reality. You know what I'm saying? But
for me,
I think they might be definitely a game 7. It'll go to a game 7 for sure. I don't know who wins, but like you said, who will want it more?
I'm living like that in any of these hypotheticals. Game 7 is what you're gonna get. Because the game is so different, and we can't never base it off of rules, because rules are rules. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you say, all right, we finna play 7 games and pick up right now, best of 7, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, some of this shit gonna get what it's gonna get. You're gonna get some tic-tac fouls, you're gonna get some no calls. At the end of the day, it's just about, at the end of the day, who wanted more. And who ain't gonna call, who gonna finish on that and one, who gonna go get that loose ball. And it just depends on, it's just that grit and grind. Like, damn the rules, who gonna who? You know what I mean? Like, who gonna sit in that chair when it's time? When it's GP, we going to 16 and they got 15. Who gonna get the stop? You gonna get the stop? It's 15 all. KD got the rock. Who want to stop? Who want to stop? Mike or Scott, and vice versa. Like, you know what I mean? Is KD gonna sit down in that chair? Is Steph gonna try to? Is you gonna try to sit down in that chair? Is Clay gonna try to sit down? You know what I mean? So it becomes that. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the only way is. For me, if you drop both teams off, right? You drop both teams off in a vacuum where it's just like, all right, even playing field in terms of the rules, in terms of how you play defense. The defense played differently back then. Then I think it would take. I think the Golden State Warriors obviously would get more than one game, because it would take at least one game for them to adjust how to guard that team, because they wouldn't know what to do with Stephen Curry pulling from 40 feet. They're like, they're dropping, they're going under screens, and Steph was like, what? Like, all right, like, I'm just gonna keep pulling. And then I think it's gonna take a game for them to realize that, wait a minute, number 30 can shoot, number 11 can shoot, number 35 can also shoot from 36 feet out. Okay, all right, this is some fuckery. And also number 35 is 7 feet tall, and nobody wants to tell us that. Right. So
nigga, you still growing? Like, yo, like, what?
Hey, y'all center skinny. That's a small forward, huh?
You're what?
That's our what? That's your what? That's our small forward.
Time out, Phil. Damn.
You sure about that? Who your power forward? The 6'7" nigga, huh?
I'm finna go ahead and just tell Dennis, hey, run straight through him. All for real. Don't need, as soon as the ball goes, we ain't even worry about nothing. Just forget it. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know, bro.
They're gonna be like, Phil, all they doing is putting up circuit shots, man. How we supposed to guard that?
Right.
Get the rebound.
Get the rebound. out the net.
At the end of the day, bro, it's just like one of those things, man. Like I do think a lot of people has to start giving credit. And I do know we kind of like a lot of people run over like guys like Ron Harper. Like Ron Harper was a 6'8" point guard that could guard extremely well, and he scored the basketball really well early on until you get until you get to that point where it's like, all right, well, I'm joining the championship team. Yeah. What is it that you need me to do? Are you want me to score 20, or do you want me to lock niggas up?
Oh, yeah, they had definitely all caliber, all historic defenders on that team.
Yeah,
Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, who's and then Dennis Rodman, right? You had lockdown defenders.
Yeah,
and by no means of the imagination. It's just to not say it's not going to a game 7 is insane.
It's crazy. That's something you just can't say. You have to be realistic. Like it's going 7. It's going 7 for sure. They're gonna push it to the limits.
Definitely gonna push it to the limit.
We might get a game 7 last minute shot, and now we're talking a whole nother game.
Right.
I mean, we might get some extra quarters. It's gonna be a lot of fouls in that situation.
I'm fouling everybody.
Oh, what? Draymond getting a clothesline for sure.
Got to. Yeah. Got to. If he ain't doing that, then what else? What else you trying to do?
Nah, you gonna set the screen you want to. You be picking up your chicklets. Read.
Better get that mouthpiece off the ground, boy.
Yeah, you better start wearing it. You're gonna need a new Invisalign for me, boy.
That Bulls team's gonna be like, y'all protect y'all teeth? That's crazy. That's crazy. Takes his elbow right here. Smack him. Yeah. You still feel it? Oh man. All right, man. Fellas. Oh, go ahead.
Nah, I got a question. Nah, I asked at the end.
No, go ahead.
Nah, bro, y'all been seeing this Manu Ginobili thing, bro? On like,
with Paul George.
Yo, what is this, bro? Like,
stop it.
Where'd this come from? That's what I just want to know, bro. No hate towards Manu, but yo, what?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
They were comparing Manu Ginobili to Paul George, saying that there was a side saying that Manu Ginobili was as good as, if not a better shot creator and shot maker than Paul George. And the other half is like, are you out of your damn mind? Of course, Paul George is a better shot creator and shot maker than Manu Ginobili.
PG's a 6'10" shooting guard with absolute guard skill set. And when I say guard, we're talking about like it's silky smooth. Like it's one of the prettiest games in the league. And don't get no disrespect to Manu, but you're not telling me you finna tell Manu, hey man, I need you to lead this way and get 25 a night. We were telling PG to go up against Prime Bron on not too far Prime D Wade and that Miami Heat squad, and he was going to get 30.
Yeah,
and sitting in the chair.
I think it's disrespectful to pull Manu into that argument because he did not deserve to be inside of that argument
at all.
At all, like he didn't deserve that, man. Let him stay where he was. One of the great Spurs players. A champ, 6th man of the year. please leave him where he needs to be at. To compare him to 6'10" Paul George, come on.
Hey, bro.
It's just I'd be like, yo, they be talking real reckless.
Man, yeah, that's tough. Manu did put his work in though, like
he
you
did.
said.
You can't take nothing away from him. He was a shot creator. He was a shot maker. He did create for his teammates. But
yeah, I've really seen Paul George like work niggas like a real PG. You know what I'm saying? Like tween, sits, pull-ups, hezzy pulls. Like Paul George bag is very, very deep. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's disrespectful to Paul George too. Not saying Manu isn't who Manu is, but you know what I'm saying? Paul George bag is like that shit is deep, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for all these injuries and all this, you know what I'm saying, shit we can't control, I feel like Paul George would be in talks as a top 5, you know what I'm saying, top 10 guy in the league. But, things happen that he couldn't control too, so he at where he at. But
that's still to come back from that stuff. You feel what I'm saying?
So you have Manu Ginobili. I want to say the highest minutes he ever started. So starter minutes at like 31 minutes per game, he averaged 19 points with 4 assists.
Not bad.
That's his best producing season in terms of points, with his highest minutes used. So you have Paul George. I think highest scoring is, I think it was
right?
when he was with that
He's with
Oklahoma
OKC.
City Thunder. Yeah, 28 points a game with 4 assists.
We can almost say that's past prime too.
Yeah,
Right.
28 points a game with 4 assists is what his best seasons average.
Probably like 34 minutes too.
37 minutes a game. 37. So, yeah.
That's tough, man. That was just something I seen. I was like, yo, they were
I
fighting for Mando.
I did see that come across my phone, and I was just looking at it's hilarious. One of my favorite things to do is to look at comments when it comes to like Instagram, TikTok, even Twitter.
Right.
And if see people actually argue as if they know each other, and as if you can change the other person's mind. Like the other person will be like, yeah, that comment is what changed my mind about that Manu Ginobili debate. Like, no, like why you really waste your breath, your finger motions to be like, I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna let her know. Unisex bathrooms are wrong. Wait, I don't.
Bro, they really be going hard for that stuff too, bro.
They go hard for it, man. They don't play no games.
They don't play no games.
And they will call you out your name quick.
Quick to get disrespectful.
Yeah, man.
I was like, bro, I feel like if you call somebody out their name, you probably more mad than they
For sure.
Bro, like,
right. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I read across that video, man. They were fighting for Manu because they were saying that the only reason Paul George had that best scoring season was because of Russell Westbrook, because he couldn't create for himself. It was Russell Westbrook creating for Paul George.
Like he didn't play 4 or 5 years in a situation where he was the one, where he was the number one option. Yo, come on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 26 in those years. Like, come on, bro. That is crazy to say.
Wow.
He was in the MVP race, was he not? When he averaged 28?
Yeah, see, I think his last 2 seasons in Indiana was his best at 23 points a game and 24 points a game. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely
it's nuts.
Insane. And then you have to think, man. Okay, I do understand that Russell Westbrook was a part of that team in terms of facilitating, but you only had one true scorer, and that was Paul George. Who else was on at the time?
Definitely was only part. I mean, if you're going to give Melo a little bit of credit, I guess you can give him a little bit of credit, but Melo won't really.
He was way past prime Melo. You're not telling me. You're not saying Melo, go give me 30. Yeah, right. Melo gonna hurt himself trying to get you 30.
Carmelo Anthony wasn't even on that year. He was on that team that year.
That was the year after or the year before.
Yeah.
Okay.
The year after, when he averaged that many points, it was only you had Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, Patrick Patterson, Norris Noel, Markieff Morris, Jeremy Grant, a young Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, here we
are. That's about it. I mean, your second scorer is Russell Westbrook.
Your second and third. Yeah, your second and third option is Dennis. Your second option is Russell, and your third option was Dennis Schroeder. Because I think Dennis Schroeder had like 17 that year, something like that. Yeah, he was high. Right. So it's crazy. Like, you mean to tell me at 28 points, what was his 3 attempts? Because if Russ was such a playmaker for him, he was only taking 3 attempts from 3, if that. I mean, the rest of these buckets. No, you can't tell. You're not telling me you put PG in half court, say he can't get a shot for himself. That's just not. He's just too silky smooth. We seen it happen night in and night out.
Too many times.
He's in half court set, and it's straight to where he want to do.
Like,
So many times, yeah. If you can yeah, no, that's definitely something that surprised me. When that scroll past, I was like, damn. And Manu Ginobili was one of my favorite players with this.
Yeah, for sure. I respect Manu to the highest point.
Especially one of the favorite players to play with on 2K coming off the bench going crazy. I started him. I ain't let him come off the bench. We started.
Manu, I feel like for that era, like with the foreign players too, like how Kobe Bryant said they was going to catch up. I feel like Manu Ginobili is the start of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and guys like back in the day, like the Tony Kukoc situation with when he played with the Bulls, when they played them in Croatia, USA versus Croatia and all that. You know, I feel like Manu is a pioneer for overseas guys. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he definitely should get that respect, you know what I'm saying, and credit from everybody. But when it comes to Paul George, though, I mean, Paul George ain't do shit either, but just skill wise, like, man, it's different. PG is really different, bro.
Yeah. If you telling me, if you tell me you're gonna put him in a situation 1v1, tell PG and Manu to buckle up. Yeah, I mean, just check up, fool. And who you putting your money on, Manu or PG?
Manu I'm gonna tell you that ball if it's make it take it.
If it's make it take, it's over with. I'm about 7% PG come out on top. For sure.
So Paul George is one of two players with the season of 28 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals since 1973.
Right.
Could you name the other person?
Say that one more time.
Paul George is one of two players with the season that averaged 28 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals per game since 1973. Could you name the other person?
Mike?
Is it Mike?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Mike.
Wow. That's crazy.
Leave Manu alone. He don't deserve this. He don't deserve it.
We don't need to beat on man. We don't need to slander. He don't need to slander.
He ain't do nothing. Nobody.
You gonna hurt that man.
Who even tried to bring this conversation up?
Player's choice.
Was it player choice, Rio? I think it was player choice.
I think it's player's choice. And I don't know if it was a Mars debate or if it was what's my man is the host, bro. The white kid. I don't know his name.
He be killing. Boy. Wait a minute. Is it players? I don't think it was player choice. I think it was the other one.
That's where I said it.
It has the light-skinned dude that's sitting to his left, and then you got the chubby host, and then the other light-skinned dude that's on his right.
Yeah, player's choice, bro. They got Mars.
That's him?
Yeah, hold on. See if I can. Yeah.
The dude, the chubby dude with the long hair. They be sitting at the table together.
Oh no, no, it's not that one. I was saying
That's the one I saw it on.
Okay. I seen it on Player's Choice. The one with
they
Mars
were yelling at each other.
Oh, you talking about that's the one you said. That's the one that had Luke. They were talking about Luka, right? About being a generational talent. Those guys.
Yeah. Those guys. That I saw that debate on there as well.
Yeah,
dude,
that's right.
Dude was raising his voice, boy. He was mad. He was so mad that he used somebody used that Russell Westbrook point, and he was so mad. He was like, "Oh man, yeah, God, that dude." That the host on that won't be having me. I'll be like, "Dang, who really be coming up with these questions?"
Right.
I don't know. Coming up with no questions, man. I hate disrespecting my new Joe like that. He don't deserve that, man. Leave that man alone. Leave that man alone.
It's just like that Kobe disrespect. I'll be talking crazy about Kobe, like Kobe won't kill him for years. They be just be throwing Kobe like man, bro, I talk real crazy about Kobe.
Early day, my boy Rue, man. I'm telling you, when they skip Kobe, I never forget that day I was on a bus. They was talking about LeBron being the best player, bro. I was like in middle school going to high school, and I was like, where did Kobe go? Like, is he gone? He disappeared off the face of the
Is
earth?
LeBron James better than Kobe Bryant?
Don't get me to ask that question.
You a Lakers fan, Trey, though?
I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Nah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
LeBron crazy. He crazy.
yeah,
But this is
yeah,
early on though. Like this is that was when I was like I was heated, bro. It's like because LeBron he was coming into his own in Cleveland, and it was like, damn, bro, like we really just skipping Kobe. Like LeBron hasn't even won nothing yet, and
right.
we just skipping over this man who got 4 titles. Okay, my bad. I missed it. I missed it when we all came to that consensus. But yeah, as of right now, though, it's tough, man. It's tough. I know Rio's on the fence of MJ. For me, I never wanted to get into that debate because I honestly couldn't answer. I couldn't give you an answer, man. It's for me, it's close. I think once he passes Kareem, though, I think that's what's going to make me lean towards LeBron.
Yeah,
That's a
overall,
crazy accolade to have.
definitely. Like that's the number. I feel like that's the number one accolade to have in like the NBA. Like the purpose is to score, to put the ball in the hoop. So it's like if you got the most
Bro,
points ever in doing this shit, I mean,
but
what
you
can
got
I really argue? Like,
it's a lot, man.
It's a
what can I?
debate, but my question is this though, right? If that's the case, why is it Kareem considered better than Jordan to the majority? Just because LeBron passes Kareem, why is it that he's now considered the greatest? It might still consider the greatest when Kareem has more points.
I feel with that too. I feel is more to it because you got to think of like fame and stardom. Like LeBron, I feel like, what I'm saying, since LeBron's been probably 17 years old, 16 years old, whatever,
Mm.
like it's been cameras on him, you know what I'm saying? And it's like just been people just watching, whether you want him to do good or you want him to do bad. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people have followed LeBron since he was a young adult. And we've kind of seen like his path. And it's not the exact same to Jordan's or similar, but Jordan had tennis shoes, he had a signature shoe. You know what I'm saying? Jordan was dunking on people, you know what I'm saying, crossing people up, shooting threes. And I feel like LeBron is similar to that, what we seen. He was just a transitional talent, to say the least. And
Mm.
we ain't really see, even though Kareem did play with the, you know what I'm saying, Showtime Lakes and all that, I feel like we still give more credit to Magic Johnson than we do Kareem. I would just say that's because of Kareem is like I think it's because he a center, to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
ain't really too much pretty shit with a center as opposed to a forward like LeBron James or a guard like Michael Jordan who's dribbling, dunking, and can shoot. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of think it's that way with LeBron. But
For me, I think it's the accumulation of accolades. I understand the 6-0 with Michael Jordan as something that can never be touched. But at some point in time, the scale has to tip with the accumulation of success that a person has over his career. It has to tip
right,
at some point. Even if we say that championships outweigh the majority of accolades, right? I think that the more you build your resume, it's like, okay, at some point it has to kind of even out.
stopping to get
Like the
gas station, and
championships
I'm
can't
back to
be
the
the
center.
end all be all because then you would use the Bill Russell um argument for Mike. So I think that it's like the accumulation of the accolades because you will use the same reference as to why so many people have Steph Curry above Magic Johnson in the all-time point guard debate. And it's like he doesn't have more championships, but Steph Curry can continue to build so much more of his career in terms of accolades. And at some point in time, you kind of have to tip the scale to be like, okay, championships weigh a lot, but he's piling up so much more. And you have to have somewhat of like a fair argument at some point in time.
So
I
are we
think
basing this
before
off impact? Because
I
that's what it sounds
I,
like you guys are saying to me.
I wouldn't
not
Because
say
not
fully impact. It's just it kind of plays a part into it. I don't want to say it's full impact, but that plays like a big part in it to me.
for me, so impact does play a part, but and like I said, it's hard. That's why I couldn't honestly choose between Michael Jordan or LeBron. I just think you have to have if LeBron does pass Kareem, you have to have a fair argument because before there was no way it can be LeBron over Michael Jordan for a lot of people. I think now it's okay. Can we at least have a fair debate? Can I come to the table with all of this instead of like I said, I can't. For me, it's hard. I can't put him over MJ, and I can't put MJ with LeBron. I can't. I really couldn't have that debate. I think I would just want a fair argument now that LeBron's carrying in all this luggage and putting it on the table. Can we have a fair argument? Can we have?
I mean, it has to be fair at this point. It got to be
for the all-time greatest spot.
I don't take that away. I mean, at this point, I do think when you reach that pinnacle, I think you do have to have this conversation, no matter whether you want to or not, because of what he's produced thus far. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody thought he was gonna get this far, and for him to get this far and still to succeed, you have to definitely put it in consideration. I only ask because it's just at this point, like I think it's a personal preference thing, right?
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the GOAT debate, it's always going to be about who do you prefer? Because at the end of the day, we're going to say, Greg can say Bron, you can say Kobe. I'm gonna say Mike, and somebody gonna be like, nigga, Bill Russell. Like,
yeah,
okay, yeah. So it's just a personal preference thing when it comes to it. And it's crazy because like you look at it from a statistical point, nothing against Bill Russell, may God rest his soul, but it's like, yeah, he got those accolades. I mean, he got the defensive titles, but he averaged like 8 points a game. You dig what I'm saying? So like it just depends on who you're talking to. If you ask my grandfather, he's probably gonna say, who knows? You know what I mean? So because some people are gonna say Shaq, and it's like, how you put Shaq there because he's the most dominant of all time. So it's just, to me, it becomes a personal preference thing. I don't think it's one at this, and for me, that's what it's kind of always been. It's never been that LeBron isn't great. It's always been about personal preference. If you really ask me, I'm gonna take it Dwayne Wade. That's just because I'm a favorite player, right? You know what I mean? That's just to be fair. So,
so I think the reason this is probably one of the only things that I would take away from a positive note from Stephen A. Smith is that I've seen over the years how through what LeBron James has accomplished, that Stephen A. Smith is kind of on the fence now, right? Before years past, he was on the fence. It was Michael Jordan. Now it's got to the point where if you ask Stephen A. now, he'll kind of have to pause and give you that smirk, like, I don't know. We're gonna have to get into a debate about it.
Right.
And for me, that's all I want. For me, I just don't want to know more. I just don't want to know more. It could be one or the other, and that's it. It's gray or white. I mean, black or white. I would love to see two people sit down and have an impact point of view, statistical point of view, personal accolades point of view, and all-time stats point of view. And it's like, all right, now here's your argument. Let's see who will win. For me, I would love to be the judge because I would want somebody to convince me of which one it is.
Right.
I would need to hear all of that to see, what side I would actually take. So it's gonna be very interesting. I'm glad to see it in my lifetime though. That's a
fact.
That's a stat that you or a record that you thought that would never have to break again, that couldn't break again because of the crazy amount of scoring that Kareem was averaging through like 5 or 6 years. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, so it's gonna be pretty cool to see. The next thing is gonna be pretty cool to see is him playing with his son, and I feel like that's gonna be another thing they're gonna add to the debate.
Right.
Lasted long enough to play with his son.
Oh, it's already a debate in the sense of because the Jordan sons didn't pan out. That's already the Jordan Marcus didn't pan out in the NBA.
Now, what killed me was when they ran out of stuff to talk about during the offseason of the NBA, and they brought up LeBron's Space Jam versus Michael Jordan's Space Jam. I was like, this is doing too much.
They're trying too hard now. They're definitely trying too hard.
And they did it though. Like if you go back and look at Undisputed, they had a segment of them two arguing about who had the better Space Jam movie. Like,
I was like, better.
I was like, bro, this is crazy. And it had nothing to do with the actor. It had everything to do with like your director, the writers, the producers. Like, dang. Like, it's insane that y'all are really going to this length. So yeah. No, it's definitely that's something that we talked about having on the podcast. Phil is a LeBron James ride or die to the wheels fall off fan. He got the big fat head in his living room. All LeBron, this, that, and the third. And Rio said, he's with MJ. So I would love to see the debate towards them two.
I'm just at that point where like I just feel like for me, it's a debate that man, we talk for years because there's no way I'm gonna let you get out of here with any point feeling like you above me in this situation. I'm gonna pull every situation, and it's just like you said it before though, like but yeah, both of y'all said it's just one of those things where like it's gonna be back and forth. You're gonna have to literally dig deep in order to prove your point. You can't just live with the surface of 6-0. You can't live with the purpose of he did Braun hit the scoring. So you're gonna have to dig deep. You're gonna have to go beyond measures that you don't want to just to get your point to be believable. And it's like this is the conversation we want to have. That's the conversation I don't want to have because I don't want to lose no friends.
it get real, man. It get real. Yeah. I've never had that. I guess I think the most mad I ever got in the situation with your stepdad because I just couldn't believe what was coming out that man's mouth. I was like, bro, this is insane.
Man, I used to get into it all the time, man, because I get a lot of information from him. But sometimes, like, hey, man, you gotta live in the future. You dig? You gotta start living in what we live in now.
Right.
That's a fact. All right, I did want to get into a couple of things before we ended the podcast. The next point was that NCAA football championship 65-7. Oh my God, the Georgia Bulldogs ran circles around TCU.
TCU was there? I thought it was us.
Hey, I seen this meme. I had seen this meme, and it was like the Scooby-Doo meme. At the end when they unmasked the villain, and it was like it was like TCU before they took the mask off, but when they took the mask off, it really was the Dallas Cowboys. But I was thinking,
bro. Okay. Hear me out. We're going to get into who could have been a better opponent for the Georgia Bulldogs. But before I want to do this, I'd like to ask y'all too. Y'all both played y'all respectable sports at a high level in the collegiate. For me, I said this while the game was going on. I said if I'm a player that is eligible for the NFL draft at 40-something-7 in the third quarter, and there's no way we're coming back, or 50-something, like take me out. Like I don't want to risk injury because I'm trying to get into the NFL. And somebody was like, "No, you got to see it through. You got to see it through." I said, "Bro, no. Like I'm not risking injury for this blowout game. Like sit me out. Let the bench come in." What are your thoughts on that, man? Rio, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't think people understand in football how hard it is to come back from a deficit. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost impossible. If you go down 21-0, that's all, you're already at a shaky point. But you start talking the 30s and 40s, at this point, man, that team is just pure feeding off momentum. There is nothing you can do. First of all, you're router playing behind, trying to figure it out. You can't heave it. So you have to play offense. So you're going to eat up clock. So at this point in time, it becomes a eat up thing more than anything. Man, at halftime when it was a lot to a little, you dig what I'm saying? I would have declared for the draft then. Coach buckles off, helmet unstrapped. I'm in street clothes. Like, Ma, where you at? You at the top, bet I'm on the way out.
So going into the third quarter, the score is 38-7 going into the third quarter, right? That's not completely not possible to come back from. No. But going into the fourth, it was 52-7. That's where I'm like, take me out. Like I'm not playing another 12 minutes of football for my knee to get blown out right before the NFL draft is coming up.
in reality too, bro, and I don't know from this standpoint because I won't leave, bro. But in an atmosphere, man, you can tell when you have a chance and when you don't. You know what I mean? And strike halftime, you can already tell like the way the TCU was carrying themselves. They had no emotions towards. They had probably emotions trying to make a change, but it was nothing they could do with Georgia. At some point in time, you just kind of realize that, all right, this is just what it is. What it is. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Matter of fact, I tell you the truth, and this is just a true statement. We played Huntington Hawks out of Alabama my senior year. We got beat similar to that my senior year. I think it was a lot to a little come halftime, and it was a lot to a little come the end of the game. No starter finished that game. We were out by the second quarter, out by the start of the third quarter. We all were out. And it's just like you just come to a point where you just have to be realist about it. Like, all right, we're not gonna get our guys hurt. We're just gonna let everybody else play. You know what I mean? Right. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But I'm with you 110%, but I probably wouldn't have made it past. I wouldn't have made it past start of the third quarter. When we went 3-0 for opening drive, yeah, coach, it's a wrap.
Oh yeah, start and so here's the thing, right? I understand the NFL teams look at stuff like that. They look at your attitude. They look at stuff like that. I'm quote unquote pulling my hamstring at the start of the third quarter.
Yes,
like
sir.
On a kickoff, like I'm grabbing my leg and I'm falling, and you're gonna have to take me to the back to run tests, and I'm just not gonna come back out.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, there's a pain in my leg that I can't get out, and I'm just not coming back.
I just shot on myself pretty much. Just shot on myself.
Going two quarters, right? With not scoring. So the second and the third going to the fourth, we hadn't put up no points, not even a field goal. We put 0 points in second and third quarter. I'm done. Like, I am done. I'm done. I can't do it, man. I can't.
Bro, you can just tell they just and it's off rip. They started the game off with a flag, right? Penalty. And then it kind of just went downhill from there. And in a lot of these games, man, you cannot afford any of these mistakes. And it doesn't take much to get off your rocker. Like, we have to give credit where credit is due. TCU might have been the best option for Georgia, low key, in a sense, but it just shows you how much of an echelon or what type of upper echelon Georgia was truly on or in. Like, the majority of that team is NFL prospects.
Yeah, and I think somebody said it in terms of the sports media. And we love a Cinderella story. We love the underdog story. But at a certain point in time, it's like they were comparing the draft classes, or not the draft classes, the recruiting classes for TCU compared to Georgia. And TCU had an average of like 40th in terms of recruiting class, whereas where Georgia was like top 5 for the past like 4 years. And it's like, do we really want to see that? Like, there is a thing as a skill gap, an athletic gap, and a talent gap when it comes to sports. There is a such thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep putting those players up, NFL bound. Half your Georgia Bulldog team is NFL bound. That's where TCU is like, when you got a couple of draft picks coming out, maybe 4. That's where it's like half of Georgia. So it's like, nah, man. Yeah, take me out, man. It's the same thing. Greg better be glad it's happened to us in 2K, and I wanted to quit because we only scored 4 points in one quarter direct. I was I'm not sitting through this whole game, bro. I'd rather be doing something else. And Greg kept saying, we in this. And I want to leave. I want to
so bad.
I want to leave so bad, man.
The penalty is so bad, man.
We was getting dog. But yeah, Greg, Rio kind of agreed with me saying that he's out. Like, going into the fourth quarter is 52-7. I'm not playing that last quarter. I'm out with a hamstring injury, and you can't tell me that it's not real.
How much time is left?
The whole fourth quarter. So, like, when it ended the third quarter in that national championship, it was 52-7 going into the fourth.
Let the freshman and the sophomore go on. Let them freshmen and sophomore get some reps. We might not ever make it back here again. So, let's give everybody opportunity to play. Let's make something good out of it.
Screen time. Let's everybody get some screen time, man. Get some film. Get some film.
Definitely. That's the type of coach I am.
Roll the 3s and 4s in, coach. Roll the 3s and 4s in.
Like definitely, bro. Especially versus Georgia, you damn sure ain't coming back on them.
Bro, you talking about 45 points in a quarter, bro? If that is unheard of in a football game.
You're not putting up, not against that defense.
No,
not against. You're not putting up 45 points.
You might get 3 scores, bro, and one of those gonna be towards in the latter part.
You couldn't put up another field. You couldn't put up a field goal.
Yeah,
like you could not get in field goal range against his team. What?
It's just unheard of. Like if you like even like hooping one thing, like yeah, if you down by a certain number, yeah, cool, whatever. We talking about different, but you talking about like insurmountable, man. Come on, man. Yeah, we down 30 with 6 minutes left in the fourth. Coach, why am I still in the game?
I hear playing against his 25-year-old throwing to all these.
Why is he 30 playing
bound wide receivers? All y'all wide receivers league bound, and you got this 8-year senior throwing to these people. Come on, man.
You got this big ass child out here at tight end, Brock Powers. Why he got this strong ass name and he's strong, Brock Powers. What type of who names you? This damn gladiator on TV. He finna be
get this gladiator off the TV, man. You know, man. I told Rio, man, I'm pulling 2 of them. I'm pulling the meanest hammy going into the fourth.
Hey, bro.
Them
boys. Georgia had this one dude too. I think he wore number 8, bro. I seen Georgia play 2 times this year. It was the first game of the season and the national championship. But that first game of the season, I think it was this like brown skin, light skin dude. He wore number 8, bro. I seen this dude tackle like 11 straight tackles in a row. Like he had like 11 straight tackles. I say, bro, these dudes, they're breeding. It's like they putting these guys in a machine or something, bro. Like,
bro,
and it's just it's different over there, bro.
When you can steal from Saban, bro, it's crazy. When you can steal players from Saban, bro. You have to realize like these guys are on a whole nother scale. Like he's stealing play, not stealing, you know, as in that, but he's literally getting kids to say, I don't even want to go to Bama, bro. I'm going to play for Kobe Smart. You dig what I'm saying? That's a lot to say that. Like, everybody wants to play for Saban. You feel what I'm saying? Like Saban is putting people in the NFL year after year for the last 15 to 20 years, no matter what position you play. Kicker, punter, long snapper, the water boy, you pick. So,
the water boy.
You pick. So it's like, bro, for you to say, yo, it's just not, it's just crazy, bro. Like, I feel sorry with TCU. I really do, because at this point, they didn't deserve that.
No.
They didn't deserve that. OSU, it's crazy to say OSU was their best task, and they beat OSU in that game before that game, before the national championship.
It might have been.
Michigan would have got dogged.
I say, hold on, wait a minute, because I'm looking at
God, Michigan would have got dogged.
Yeah, no, Michigan, no.
TCU dogged Michigan.
Ain't no way they would have.
God, they might have hung 100 on Michigan.
Bro, it would have got ugly for sure.
Harbaugh would have been in the league for real then.
Right. TCU stood no chance.
So the person you might have seen who led in tackles was
it Keely Ringo, the corner. I don't know what Ringo were.
I don't know. I think he's a linebacker, bro.
Yes, linebacker. His name is Samil Mardarn Jr.
Yeah, strong
bro,
man.
He's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that boy was strong.
That boy had 50 solo tackles.
Bro, he was over the field, bro. Like anybody running, he's tackling them. And I always said to play football too, you had to be different, because it's like you gotta grab somebody running full speed, bro. Like, and dude, he was just all over these guys. Like, come here. I'm like, yeah, he's different, bro. Like, I don't know what's driving him to be the athlete he is. Whatever his motivation factors are, there's some hell of a motivation factors, bro, because he was over the top of everything, bro.
That boy trying
I
to get
like
mama out the hood, boy.
No
He trying to
cap.
get mama out the
Get,
hood.
he
get out of
definitely
there.
trying, bro. Like he
He
ain't
trying to get
bullshit,
mama out the
man.
hood. Now, that's a fact, man. You got to think about like he out there literally flying around every single play, just tackling whoever not wearing the Georgia Bulldog uniform.
Come on, man.
Telling you, bro, like,
I'm gonna put my helmet in somebody's chest every play. I don't even care if you got the ball or not.
bro, like to play, like y'all said, bro, like I played D3, but like to play football, it's you already gotta have a loose screw. But to play defense, I feel you have to be completely lost in the mind.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
bro.
Like
Yeah,
you know Trey. You
Yeah,
seen Trent had no regard for his body. First 3 years he played in GC. He played on kickoff. He played on kickoff, right? We sent Trent on the same mission every time. We don't care who got what on. Just hit some damn body. And he did it every time. Unbuckling chin straps, almost killing his damn self to hit people. So to be a defender unless you Deion Sanders or just a pretty boy in general, bro, you literally have to not rap tight to say I'm finna go out and hit this man that's running full speed at me, and I ain't even took off from like 2 yards. That's a lot to say. I'm more of a man than you are, and you 10 yards running to me, and I'm at 2 yards. I've been ran over before, and it ain't fun. That's why I switched positions. No cap.
So I switched positions.
No cap. I played safety. Got ran over. Was a receiver the next day. I lied to you, Jack.
Bro,
man,
different, man.
They got it, man. They got it. But yeah, I'm not playing the rest of that game, man. I'm not playing the rest of that. For what?
Why? For what?
I'm trying to go to the NFL next year.
I'm finna get paid. I'm finna get paid.
And I'm over here. The Georgia got in their second string and they trying to prove themselves, so they ringing bells. Like, bro, I ain't doing that, man.
They practice. Oh yeah. We finna show out. We finna show this. Man. We finna do this again next year.
Just like when we played the Giants. We played the Giants last weekend, and they had in a second and third string on defense, bro. And I already knew what was about to go down. Like, you got all these people out here hungry for a spot next year. They trying to prove that they can play in the NFL. They gonna hit everything and anything that don't got an NY on their helmet. The rest better watch out. Boy, I ain't never seen the Giants defense fly around so fast all over the place. Man,
they coming to prove themselves. They coming to prove themselves.
They was trying to knock off chin straps. Yeah. I ain't got time for that, man.
Them boys gonna be sore tomorrow. They don't even care. They finna be all over film session.
Yeah, they trying to get as much film as possible on this single game. They got to prove themselves. Yeah,
well, he get 8 minutes. He done knocked 12 people out there. Not everybody dumb.
He over there collecting chin straps. He done took chin straps off the helmet. He got him walking around.
Put him in the bag.
He in the bag.
Coach. I got another one.
I got another one. And I'm good, man. I'm good on that note. I'm good. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, most definitely. I'm trying to go to bed. I'm trying to go to bed.
Let's beat the trap so we get something to eat, Mama.
Where we make sure that we ain't going too crazy for the time. People gotta go to work tomorrow. Like Rio.
Yes, sir. I'll tell y'all something, boy. This 5-day week right here that messed me up.
That's a fact.
I had 4 straight. I mean, 2 straight 4-day weeks. Yeah, tomorrow is Thursday.
We are going to say that final topic for next week because we have reached 100. I'm not 100. An hour and 30.
Hey man, real quick, man. Let me ask you a question. Hey man, I got a MacBook for Christmas. Need to get a monitor. Do I gotta get a Mac monitor? Nah. Which one you think I should get?
You should get a regular. I got like 3 different types of manufacturers. The one I game with is a Samsung. The ones I work with are like Dell.
All right, that's a bet.
Yeah, you ain't got to get that too crazy.
All right, that's a bet.
Yeah, I'll say don't spend nothing over like $120.
I ain't even planning on it. I just want to ask my dog first for too late. Way more tech savvy than I am.
All right, fellas. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate y'all boys.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt. No doubt, Brody.
So, Greg out there, man, be safe.
Yes, sir. Be safe, brother. And man, what we gonna hoop?
And I'm coming down there. Me and John coming down there on the 21st to the 23rd, bro. So, you know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
I might be in your neck of the woods. I think I'm
Let's
supposed
get
to go
it.
see Shorter that weekend.
You know
I'm
what I'm
ready.
saying? So, me and John definitely be down there next weekend. Told Trey get us right with the hoops.
Oh yeah.
And we gonna make something happen. Trado said I can't come out there playing lots of daisical this time, so I'm gonna come out there.
Cause nigga pissed me off.
So I'm gonna come out there full throttle,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna come back home, and I'm gonna just retire again from there. So
there you go.
Ain't
no way Greg will hoop for Hampton. And every time I don't hoop with Greg, he out there just keep passing the ball. I'm like, bro, if you don't get in your bag, I'm trying to chill in the corner and wait for my moment, wait for my one shot a game attempt.
Tell you Greg up.
That's what I be doing. I be putting too much I be trying to donate too much responsibility to the teammates. Like when I try to get John all that responsibility, you see he was fumbling and missing layups, and then he looking at his hand like this, like it's his hand. It's you. It ain't your hands. It's you, boy. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm just playing. But no, we definitely gonna turn up this go round.
Yes, sir. I'm ready. All right, fellas, y'all be safe. Appreciate y'all being on the show tonight. Rio, Greg.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Y'all boys stay dangerous.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
yes,
too,
sir.
man.
Y'all be good.
Yes, sir. You too.
Shout out to everybody in chat. I ain't forgot about y'all. Appreciate y'all staying on for long. Rio be out quick.